Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lene Show. I have been gone for a while. I haven't been able to leave a podcast in a couple of weeks. I have a lot going on, as many of us do. Everybody knows I'm a full-time mom and I run a house, and it's just things seem to always get so overwhelmed. And one minute I'm all excited and hyped about starting my podcast and being able to, voice my opinion and speak my truth and not have to be in front of a camera or the center. And then things go a little crazy. I experienced a very close death in my family. My kids got sick. My car broke down. So it's been a hectic couple of weeks. But I actually have some free time now, and I was excited about being able to leave podcasts. Of course, it's February 11th. Very excited. Happy Black History Month to all of my Black people. As you know, it's a month that obviously, Black history should be celebrated all the time. Everybody's history should be celebrated all the time. But just like everybody else, just like Santa Claus has Christmas and the Easter Bunny, and basically, Jesus has Easter. African Americans, we have Black History Month, and it's very important to me as a Black woman that this month is definitely highlights things that are not highlighted throughout the rest of the year. For those of you who do not know history or maybe don't seem to care, Black History Month was started in 1976 by President Gerald Ford. They say he basically recognized February as Black History Month in hopes that the efforts and accomplishments and all of the hard work that African Americans have put into this country and put into the world, people would notice and things would be highlighted, and maybe some stuff that you didn't know would be known. And that's what this month is basically all about. And I think it's important that whether you are Black or Asian, white, that your kids acknowledge people that have done things in this world to make it possible for them. There are plenty of Black people, plenty of white people, plenty of Asians, plenty of Indians, Hispanics that have done things that make things possible for us. So basically, regardless of the race, it's important to educate your kids and not just on, the 2 plus 2s. So with that being said, some of the things I want to talk about today so the first thing I'm going to discuss is this Gucci issue. Unless you've been sleeping under a rock, you might have saw on social media that Gucci, the clothing line, they had launched a sweater, I think about a week ago, maybe. They had launched a sweater that was a Black sweater that you can pull over just above your nose, and then it had red lips on the outline, and then your actual lips would be in like a little hole. The sweater had a white female with I want to say it was like a dirty blonde or maybe like a brownish, I don't know. A white female with like a dirty blonde, brownish kind of hair, and she had this sweater on. Now, why no one thinks this is an issue is very shocking to me. And Gucci's obviously not the first one. A couple of I don't know how long ago it was that Prada also did like a line of like monkeys or robots, something along those lines, that were basically depicting blackface. It was the black and they had the big lips. And then, we know about Ralph Northam, who was in a photo with the blackface and the KK clan robe and all the other good stuff. And we can literally go on, to be honest, about whether they are clothing lines, celebrities, your neighbor next door, your friend who decided for Halloween, they wanted to be a Black person because apparently that is a costume. Okay, so the issue is that no one seems to think this is an issue. There is no reason why any culture, honestly, should have to feel like we are taking things that were a negative stereotype and making it now okay. Okay, so just as a hint, for example, we can talk about if I decided to go and purchase myself a kite and go on Instagram and fly the kite all around. And then I said, "Ooh, I'm flying a Jew." And then no, everybody be like, "Oh, that's so funny. Ha ha ha. Oh my God, you should be a comedian." That would be an issue. That's an issue because that is a derogatory term used to describe Jewish people. And for me to take the kite and fly it around on my Instagram and say that, I'm sure somebody will have an issue with that. Or Mexicans, unfortunately they have the negative terms, the wetback or the hunchback or something along those lines. I don't even know because I wouldn't even think of calling anybody this. And I go wet myself and I lay on the floor and I said, "Ooh, I'm a wetback." These are things that are derogatory. These are terms that were used to put down, to seem less than. And so it's no different than getting a sweater, pulling it over yourself and putting the red lips on and saying, "Oh, I don't know. I didn't understand what that meant. I don't know why this is a problem." No, it's a problem. It's a problem because it's a negative, derogatory feature of people of color. I think my frustration is that in 2019, I and anyone else of color literally has to sit down and go through the list of things that you should not do. Why do I have to do that? Why do I have to educate you on things that you should already be educated on? It's not rocket science that African Americans were slaves. They went to Africa, they stole people, and they brought them here, and they slaved them. It's not news, people. It's not brand new. It's not some second. It is what it is. If it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a motherfucking duck. And I don't understand why we still have to have these discussions. Oh, I know why we still have to have these discussions. Because people want to live in a world where it's okay to mistreat anyone, whether it's race-wise, whether it's look-wise, whether it's body issues. We just live in a world where, hey, it should be okay. It's have thick skin. What does it matter? Who cares? No, it's not okay. It's not okay, people. It's not a joke. It's not comedy. It's not anything. It just isn't okay. I really can't simplify it anymore. I know sometimes people need someone like, I don't know, Einstein, or I don't know, maybe even Mike Zuckerberg, someone who they think is intelligent and smart, to really break it down for you and say all these big words, and now all of a sudden it makes sense. No, I don't need big words. I don't need Einstein. I just need you to understand that it's not okay. That's pretty much it. I shouldn't really have to go deep down and dive into the history for you. No. It just is what it is. And the problem is that companies like Gucci, companies like Prada, companies like Tommy Hilfiger, they think they can get away with it because guess who's purchasing these items? I mean, can you tell me one celebrity that wasn't putting their little Gucci headband on? I just saw, just the other day, I was scrolling through my Instagram and I saw a young, M.A. or Young Ma. I don't really know which one she goes by, M.A. or Ma, but I saw her post a picture of herself and she had the Gucci bag. It was literally after the initial Gucci controversy with the sweater. And you know why she put that Gucci bag up? Because I'm sure Gucci sent her that purse for free, and I'm sure all of her followers want to know her latest thing. And also, I just want to point out that she does identify herself as a black woman. She is a black woman. I'm not saying she's not. I just want to point out that she constantly goes on. When people ask her what she is, she goes, she's black, which she is, which I appreciate because I am I am of mixed race, and I still consider myself a black woman. So I appreciate the fact that she could probably pinpoint all of her stuff, and she goes, no, I'm a black woman. But as a black woman, a black gay woman, I need you to not be on Instagram posting your latest Gucci bag when this company has now basically said, you're funny, bitch. This is you with your big lips and your black skin, and we're going to walk around with you and we're gonna be cool. No, it's not okay. And the problem is that today, in today's world, social media is how things are done. I grew up, where cell phones and computers were literally still brand new. I mean, if you even had a cell phone, we thought you had a little bit of money. Now anybody can have a cell phone. Literally, you don't even have to have a place to live and you can have a freaking cell phone. That's, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter. When I was younger, not even younger, when I was a teenager, the biggest thing out when I was a teenager was AOL, Messenger. And, I had to click my little cord in and you heard the all that good noise, and you couldn't even be on the phone at the same time that you were on the computer. That was what was big. And now you have things like, Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat, where your lives are completely on display and people can talk so much shit about you and they don't even have to know you. You're in a whole different country, a different time zone. We'll never even meet. And yet you can say things like, you monkey face bitch, and you ugly this, and, take your little nigger ass. Yeah, these are the things you can do now on social media. So this is my issue with people who have a platform that these young girls, like my daughters, 16, I have a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old who follow these people on social media, who listen to what they have to say, and you think it's okay to post that because you know how I would look at it? Oh, I was scrolling through my Instagram and I saw Gucci was having some issue with a blackface, backlash. And then, here's young MA. She just posted a picture with a Gucci bag. So it's probably not a big deal. Like, oh my God, if young MA does it, that means I could do it. Like, no, it's not her job to depict, but it is your job in a way. You are a public figure. What do you think Malcolm X and Rosa Parks and Martin was doing? You don't think that they knew they were figures? You don't think that they thought that people were looking at them and hoping that they could be a voice, they could help change? And for those of us who are afraid to speak up and don't know where to speak up and don't know what to do, that you can't be the person who does the change. You don't want to be a Malcolm X. You don't want 40 years later for somebody to say, hey, this person did this 40 years ago. You don't want to be in the textbooks for saying they stood up for this. They spoke their truth. They did not allow this to happen. You don't want to be that person. You'd rather be the person who 40 years from now, they go, yeah, well, when they were talking about the racism and stuff, they didn't even care because they had this cool bag. And oh my goodness, if you would have seen the bag, you would have died. Is that what you want to be known for? Or do you want to be known as a person who's doing some change, who's doing something about the fact that we as Black people are still the laughing stock of this country, yet we make majority of the money. We are the ones who are supporting Tommy Hilfiger, supporting fucking Gucci, supporting I don't even know all these other fancy things because I can't afford it and I don't have it. I'm just saying Jordan. I mean, all of these things, these are Black money. Our money are why you're even famous. And yet you think it's okay to mock us because at the end of the day, they don't care about our dollar. They don't care that we are the reason why they're the money makers. They don't care about that because they still don't see us as equal. They still don't see us as one of them. They think that we're less than. And until we as a people start realizing that, we're always going to have this issue because this is my issue with my people. We are the first ones to call out the racism, but then we're also the first ones on the line purchasing these fucking purses. Why are you purchasing this purse? Why are you supporting this artist? Why are you going to these concerts? You need to go. You have to go. You got to be in. You got to be cool. Like, come on, let's get it together. Like, we have to stick together. You cannot expect the white man or the white woman to respect us when we don't respect us. It's a full circle, people. It's a full circle. So, yeah. So, anyway, obviously, I don't agree with Gucci's stupid ass company. And I don't own anything Gucci, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I don't. I may own one Gucci shirt and I don't know where it is. So, I guess I won't have to worry about it. But you don't have to worry about me hitting Lotto tomorrow and going out and purchasing anything Gucci like. Or Prada. I'm not going to lie.